guys, Dave from Timber Time Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about this implement behind me. This is my favorite grapple for getting firewood out of the woods, loading it into the dump trailer. And this weekend, unfortunately, I didn't get any film of it, but I broke it. And so this video is basically going to be about, talking about what broke. We're going to take it back to the manufacturer, so they were nice enough to say, hey, bring it in. We'll do some troubleshooting. We're going to figure out what's wrong. They're going to fix it. And we're going to talk about some of the other equipment that they have. So stay with us, guys, and remember, keep it in the timber.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.
Alright guys, at least I was able to get the implement home. But you can see pretty bad failure. We got water inside. Yeah, I just broke that weld off, so let's see if we can get her fixed. Alright guys, let's get right to it. So if you're someone who uses equipment, you're going to want to watch this one. The point of this video basically is to do some investigation work. So we got a broken piece of equipment and I want to find out why. Not necessarily to place blame on anyone, but I want to better myself. So I want to understand, did I use this implement in a way that it was not intended? We're dealing with tractors and they do have limitations. And so that's kind of my goal, is to figure out, did I do something wrong here? It'll be fun to see what the manufacturer comes back with, because they're going to actually take it, fix it, and see if they can figure out what went wrong. It's possible as a material flaw, could have been a bad weld, could have been a lot of different things. But again, the point of this video is not to place blame. It's more to improve myself as an operator and just make sure I'm using the equipment in the right way. So let's get to it. Okay, so just some background about the equipment and how it's being used, what it's being used with. So the implement is a Grapple. It's got independent upper claws. It's made by Stout buckets, Stout Manufacturing, and they're in Knapp, Wisconsin. Been a great company to work with so far. So that's, as you can see, I'm on the road right now on my way to drop things off. And we bought this Grapple about 2 years ago. It's been amazing ever since. It's done a ton of work for me. And the tractor that we're using it on is a Kubota MX 5800. And if you watch some of my other videos, you know this tractor is an absolute beast. Like that loader can get you in trouble. You know, it can lift more than it should, and it's got a lot of power. And so you know, I don't know if this was a good match for the tractor. I think it was. And so let's see what we learn about this particular failure. Looks like the rain's letting up just a little bit. But of course we got the frost coming out of the ground, so there's mud everywhere. Smith Equipment, I guess is the proper name for the business. They make all kinds of stuff, so. We'll go on inside and see if we can find Jake. There he is, Jake. Whoop. Jake, how you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself, Dave?
Well, we've got a problem to solve, so thanks for working with us. And why don't you tell me a little bit about this facility? So this isn't where you make stuff, this is where you sell it?
This is where we distribute out of.
Okay.
We make all our Stout product, everything with a Stout label like that on it, that gets made down in Knapp, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Which is, that facility is just a couple miles away.
Okay.
And then we bring it up the hill here to this facility and we get everything ready for shipping, get it over to our shipping dock where we distribute to our retail customers or any of our dealers across the country.
Okay, and so you have a bunch of different brands, because I thought the company was called Stout, but it's actually called Smith Manufacturing?
Yep, so Smith Equipment's the parent company,
Okay.
Stout's the brand, that's kind of how we do business as.
see.
Stout buckets, rolls off the tongue nice.
Okay.
We distribute for the Low brand as well as the MTW brand. Most people know Low for their augers. They've been making augers for a lot of years. The 1650 and the 750 are classics.
Okay.
They make all the big bits.
Yeah, these are huge.
Huge bits.
How big is that?
Those are 36-inch standard dirt bits.
36, that's not gonna work on my tractor.
No, you're gonna need a lot of, you're gonna need some pressure and some gallons per minute for those.
Should I get a skid steer, guys? Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to it here. So I'm out in front. Do you want me to just pull around to the dock here, or where?
Yep, I can have you pull around back and we'll unload that 66.9 and take a look at it.
Sounds good, and we'll get the investigation underway. Check it out, boys. Holy grapples. There's gotta be 100 grapples back here. How many grapples are out in the yard? We drove in. I was like, there's gonna be 100 of them out here.
Probably about that, but most of them are heading out the door here.
What do you got for firewood? Do you got like a firewood bucket or no?
If you're looking for something like that, I know people use our rock grapple for that. Probably know it as a skeleton grapple, maybe.
Okay.
Go to this profile.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Get running flat all the way out to the edge. You can get under stuff easier.
Right. So you sell that without the grapples on it, or?
Yep, I have that in just a bucket, no grapples. And I make this thing, this is a 69-inch wide one. I go with 2 grapples. I have a 62, a 69, 72, 75, 78, and 82.
That I might, if I can get one that's light enough for the tractor, I might do that.
Well, and I got some, I got a 55-inch wide one, which is a lighter one.
Ooh, perfect.
We drop down from 3/8 times to 1/4 inch to get the weight down, but for the lighter tractors that don't have the lift capacity, that's a good option for them. They're under 500 pounds, around that 400 range. So
perfect. All right, well, let's get her unloaded here, and it's getting to be closing time, so
right.
or Miller time. All right, so as you guys can see, it kind of tore away here, and Jake's going to kind of step us through, the repair process, and then some of the things that he'll be looking for that may, basically we want to figure out what went wrong here. So, Jake, what do you do first when you get this back to your shop?
Well, first thing we do when it comes back looking like this, we usually ask what happens, and it's amazing the answers you get sometimes.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
It just happened, right?
Yeah.
But we'll look at the weld, and we'll look at, I guess, how old the tears are. I mean, it looks obviously fresher down here where it finally failed, so it's fatigue over time. And generally, we'll look at the the geometry of the way it failed. I've seen this fail before. I haven't seen it fail going forward.
Okay.
Usually I see them fail going back.
Yeah, I think on the phone you were saying if guys are pushing back too hard, it'll tear the other way.
Yep. So they'll have the grapples all the way open, and they'll low bridge them.
Okay.
They drive into a log, and they'll catch a tree that isn't on the ground or a few inches or like a couple feet up, and they'll essentially low bridge that grapple,
Okay.
forcing it over backwards,
Yep.
and then they'll push this mount over.
Yep.
Or they'll try to push trees over is usually what happens.
Right. And I've tried to push trees over too, but I usually use the teeth.
Right.
You know, if a leaner's not going the right way, I'll kind of use the tractor to
Yep.
get it going, but I usually use the teeth. You know, and you know, I think we talked about this on the phone. What I tend to do is after I fell a tree, I'll come in and I'll grab onto the trunk and drag.
Yep.
And I think that might have been what's wrong with it. You guys will have to tell me, but you know, it's interesting you say the age of that brake. It almost looks oily. So maybe it's been cracked for a while. I don't know.
It could have been cracked for like a long time, especially since I know it's raining now, but like you said, there's water in there, so that's usually a sign that it's probably been that way for a while.
Yeah. All right, guys, if you're watching this, I want to get some comments from you. If, you know, guys that are very experienced with grapples and metal braking, make a comment. What do you think it's going to be? You know, the whole point of this video is to learn, so let's learn together. All right, guys, it's about 3 or 4 days later, and we are pulling back in here to Smith Equipment to pick up the grapple. It's all repaired. I spoke to Jake on the phone, and he's all ready for me here, so we'll pull the big trailer around and get things loaded up. I'm excited to see the repair, kind of talk through what went wrong and go from there. All right, guys, I'm back here with Jake, and we've got the grapple all repaired, and so you're going to talk through how you fixed it, the improvements that you made, and then maybe we'll talk about what I did wrong, because I'm pretty sure I did something wrong in terms of getting this thing broken. So what did you guys do to repair it?
So what we did was we bent your rear cylinder mount farther back into its original position, and then we re-welded where it all tore back out.
Okay.
And then to add some additional strength to the grapple, we added a gusset here on the rear cylinder mount,
Okay.
getting down to the rear of the tube as well as along the hitch plate, giving it more side-to-side strength, as well as hopefully some strength to keep it from pitching forward again,
Okay.
like we saw happen to it. And we also added that same mount, or gusset reinforcement
On both
on the other
sides?
side. Yep.
Yeah, we started this video, we had rain, now we got all kinds of wind
we got
here.
wind,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like it. Repainted it. It looks fantastic. And you know, we were talking here about like maybe what went wrong. We've talked about this already. You know, I've been grabbing it and dragging. You know, I think the only thing you mentioned is that it was maybe a slow burn type of thing, where maybe there was a crack that developed, and over time, as the grapple's moving, it started to tear. When I did notice it, you know, it was just kind of stuck, and basically the cylinder was just pulling on this gusset and just ripping it out. So we probably will never know what I did wrong. So it wasn't a catastrophic type of failure where, you know, you're working super hard and it broke. It was probably, you know, I basically used the grapple the same way every time. I lift the logs, I pull them out of the woods, and I think, you know, once that crack started, it slowly deteriorated. But at least we got it repaired, so we're going to get this baby loaded up. And then also, you mentioned that you've got a bunch of smaller implements that you guys are starting to develop, and so, you know, tons of stuff for skid steers, but only a few right now for smaller tractors, and you're starting to develop that. So after we get this loaded, we're going to walk around and look at some smaller stuff for smaller compact tractors. So stay with us. right, guys, not ideal filming conditions with the wind and sunshine here, but we're going to talk about 3 very specific compact tractor attachments that Stout offers now, and I think they're going to work fantastic for firewood guys. So Jake's going to walk us through these 3, and they come in some different variations with different spacing and different widths and different weights. So depending on your tractor, they likely will have something that works for you. So Jake, why don't we start here with the one with the Grapple on it. You know, how much does this weigh? How wide is it?
So we started making the utility tractor line here where we're going for a smaller width and a lighter overall grapple because like you know, you got the 66.9 specifically because of its lighter weight.
Yep.
Still about a 500-pound grapple you got there. These we're getting down there depending on which one you have. Mid 3s to mid 4s on the weight, 450 pounds depending on your configuration. This one being 55 inches wide with 3-inch spacing, and then one large expanded grapple to, like you said, grab things like firewood.
And you have sides you can put on them too, it looks like.
Absolutely, they have bolt-on sides.
Yeah, I think this would work fantastic. 400 pounds might be too heavy for my little B2601, but the MX 5800 could definitely lift this. Now this comes in a 48 as well?
Absolutely, yep. 55 and 48 were the widths we kept getting the most requests for. So with what we could do with the skid steer quick attach hitch, 48 was the narrowest we could get down to.
Ballpark pricing?
Depending on
put you on the spot here a little bit.
2022 is just a great year for pricing, isn't it?
Steel prices and whatnot.
Around $1,500.
$1,500?
Depending, like I said, on if you want sides or not.
Guys, $1,500 for a grapple. That is a fantastic price. Okay, so now here we got, what do you call it, skeleton buckets?
Just a rock bucket.
Rock bucket.
Mainly with our style of tying being this profile where it comes flat out across all the way to where the cut edge would be, and then it slopes back up into the bucket.
Okay.
That's what we call our rock style tying, or our rock bucket, or our rock grapples. Because mainly people are using them for sifting rocks out, and they want them to fall in and stay in their bucket.
Okay.
But a rock style tying. Skeleton is another term for them though too.
Okay, and this spacing on this one is how far?
Still 3 inches.
Oh, 3 inches, okay. And this one's 55, and this also comes in a 48.
Absolutely.
And how much do these weigh?
About that much minus the grapple.
So
around 400, I'd say. Maybe a touch less. Where we're really going to shave some weight is the far one.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's talk about this one. So spacing is 6 inches.
Yep.
And this is a 55, but you also have a 48.
Absolutely, yep. We have both of these in 48. Everything here is also available in 48. 6-inch spacing. Essentially what we did was we took every other tying out to really lighten up. People wanted us to get drastic with the weight.
Yeah.
So we skipped the spinny rims, and we cut everything we could. You really get down to a lighter duty application with this one though. These are your really small utility tractors. I know the main question I get asked a lot with the utility tractors, usually they know they have that. However, it's the couplers that they ask on. In the world of skid loader, we use 1/2-inch flat face couplers.
Yep.
And most guys have to swap them out with Pioneer.
Pioneer, that's what I did.
Yep, exit. Yep. So you know,
yep.
And most other utility tractor guys will know too. But that's what we have, and that's what they come with. If you need to adapt them over or swap them out, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, those little buggers are expensive. I just replaced some Pioneers, and it was close to $100. But that's what it is. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap this video up here. We're gonna do more videos with this kind of stuff. Jake's launching in some new products here, and so I'm just happy that you worked with me to fix my grapple.
Yep.
And just a special treat to see these smaller buckets, and I can't wait to get one on my tractor. I'm really excited about this one right here, actually. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this video up. Thank you so much for taking the time to fix my grapple, show me the new products. You guys have man toys galore here. I'm super excited about it. So thank you very much, Jake.
problem, Dave.
I look forward to working with you in the future. So guys, we'll wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. Send this to your friends. Hit the like button, please. It helps out the channel a ton. And subscribe if you want to see this kind of thing. And hit the little bell if you want to be notified when we make a second video on these implements. So guys, keep it in the timber. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.